Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. It is me on the MIC.
Coming from the City of Angels, from the basement of Studio True, we bring to you the William Vinegar Show. So here he is, William.
One of the owners of Lighthouse Corporation, my man Larry. How you doing?
Going on, big dog, man. How you doing?
I want to. Yeah, what's up, man? I know it's like a rare Sunday. I don't be doing no shows on Sunday. It was just gang of shit that was happening last week. As far as family health, you know what I mean, like family health and everything like that. So let's get down to brass tacks. So. How did you guys go about getting the corporation together, Lighthouse Corporation? What inspired you guys to start the business?
Honestly, it was kind of a shift jump for us. We started off, as you can see, you're familiar with the title of Bag Chasers, right? The company that we're putting together, Bag Chasers Network. But
yes.
I couldn't really, come up with anything like a good platform, a good, story around it. Because, every story and every clothing line has to have a story or a background for it. So
yeah,
I talked to Antonio and I was like, you know what, let's go deeper into it and let's make it on a spiritual plane. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that don't know their inner self. Well, you know what I'm saying? As far as the zodiac sign, life path, people don't really know what a life path number is. And that's one's inner spiritual self and their inner being of who they really are. You know what I'm saying? Besides the flesh, so the flesh and the spirit are two different things. So we wanted to go deeper into that to show people who they really are as a person, how close are they spiritually with their inner self, and just knowing who they are. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't know who they really are. You know what I'm saying? They go by day, just living life, paying bills, working, but do they ever take the time, like, okay, what am I really on this planet for? Like, what is my purpose in life? You know what I'm saying? That's basically what we're trying. This is spiritually waking people up, in a sense.
Okay. All right. So, what type of advice would you offer anyone that's trying to open up an online business?
As far as advice, I would say this is several things. For one, keep a level-headed. Be your biggest motivator, because you're going to have a lot of doubters. You're going to have a lot of people who are going to tell you that it's not going to work. You're going to try to shift your vision into doing things that they want. Because what I learned too is it's a lot of people that are in your circle, but eventually when you start reaching to the point where you want to branch off and do things on yourself, people like to keep you in the same circle. Like-minded people like to be around like-minded people. But the thing is like I said, some people don't have vision, and there's people that do have vision. And for the people that don't see the vision, they end up, causing jealousy, envy. They want to talk you out of it. They want to basically just keep you in the box, crabs in the bucket in a way. They want to keep you, latched to them instead of trying to embrace and support you in a way or take you to higher heights. You know what I'm saying? Climb that mountain together, basically,
Yeah, there you go.
Second advice I would say was, you gotta read books, you know what I'm saying? You gotta learn from successful, because you know what I'm saying? You can't expect.
Sometimes you gotta put that cell phone down and go ahead and get a book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And even with cell phone, it's we're in the world of technology. The world is in our hands, Will. You know what I'm saying? Just like you and other people, we're learning how to use the phone to our disposal. We're not just using it just for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Other people are using it for platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like you, for one. You know what I'm saying? I give credit to you for that, because there's not a lot of OGs I know that are doing things that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you're a true testimony to you're never too old to do anything. You know what I'm saying? And you're never too young to teach. You know what I'm saying? Those quotes really stand.
Yeah. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Will, man. You know what I'm saying? Gotta give that to the big dog, man.
Yeah, I started an online business like during the pandemic, and I eventually sold it like 2 years later, only because I was working and I couldn't get it all, I couldn't get it all together. So, my advice as well, take the time and find out your niche or what you want to do with your online business. You know what I'm saying? Because there's plenty of niches out there. And, being in this, being in this generation, you're going to be able to find a niche. You know what I'm saying? You can find 100 people that have the exact thought process as you. You know what I mean? So
yes, sir.
As long as you could reach that, if there's 1,000 people and you could reach that 100, you're doing your job. You're doing your job.
Absolutely. And can I give a background story about the pandemic? It's crazy because you said that, because during the pandemic, I was like,
everybody was coming up during the pandemic, right?
Yeah. I mean, shouts out to Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? He put the blacks back on vote. Credit to that man. But besides that, so let me just give a little story. Well, before we even met, right? So I was working at Terminal 5 at Rockin' Bruce. Just got off an injury, just jumping back into the workplace. And right when that happened, that's when the pandemic started. So that's when so at that point I had to turn in my badge, got that little paycheck. Everybody was laid off for temporary. So I was in a position where I didn't even know what I wanted to do in life anymore. I was like, no, I can't. I'm not working. I'm back at home, not having a job, and I don't even know where to start. I'm like back at square one all over again. That was like the scariest part of my life, you know what I'm saying? Besides the other stuff that happened in my life, but that was one of the scariest, just sitting there just having to think like, damn, how am I going to survive? So,
I was thinking the same thing during the pan. I'm saying that, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never been through any type of, as old as I was back then. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been through no type of situation like that. You know what I'm saying? Natural disasters, earthquakes and shit. You know what I'm saying? But infectious diseases, you know what I'm saying? Like shit that can, you know what I'm saying?
Scale.
Whole nother fucking scale, right? So, I, during that time, I just count my blessings. And when I started that's when I started this podcast. It was just under a different name, but that's when I actually started, and I take that pandemic year as a year of learning. You know what I mean? A year of learning how to do this and how to do other things. I guess you just have to take it as a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, he taught me too, man. He taught me how to hustle.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm not going to get into detail what I was doing, though, but it taught me how to hustle.
Shit, man. You was one that was hustling during that time. You know what I'm saying? Business people, you know what I'm saying, were hustling during that time, taking them PPP loans. All shit to pay that shit back. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So let me hustle and get my shit. You know what I mean?
Sure,
what do you consider a value man?
Hey, high value man. Okay, it can be on a multitude level. We could say it on business standpoint, and we could just talk about just a working man standpoint, right? So let me give you an example of a high value man. High value man is self-confident, motivated, knows his sense of direction, ignores all the noise. For example, you're a high value man yourself. You know what I'm saying? So we can use, you know what I'm saying, as men like us, like, we block out the noise, we see a vision, we motivate others, we enthusiastic about where we're going. And then as far as the other part, the work part of a man, right? Person that wants to feed his family, want to take care of his responsibility. And at one point, you know what I'm saying, he just want to make it in life, you know what I'm saying? Just want to take care of his responsibility.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what I would consider a high value man who has this together and who has a spirituality together.
Yes, sir.
And, just has his mind right. You know what I mean? And
yes, sir.
A high value man to me besides those, has options as well. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, business, when it comes to romance, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When it comes to romance, your options, you just can't, you just don't have to pick anybody. You know what I mean? You can just, I want her.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. So, would you consider a high value man as a person that also gives opportunities to others?
Yeah, would give opportunities to others, that would always find a way to lift others up. You know what I mean? Let them rise up. Having leadership quality on them. You know what I'm saying? Because a value man has to be a leader too. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Has to be a leader too. And leader is an awesome responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Having, people rise up. You know what I'm saying? Helping people rise up. So, as far as that go, high value, being a high value man, you have to look out for others, look out for yourself, and me doing the right thing. That's what I, that's my opinion on it. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
And last but not least, if you were a rich man, have a side chick.
Whew. Okay, that's the bombshell right here. Okay,
okay. It goes like, if you were a rich man, would you have a side chick? And if you did have a side chick, and if you had a side chick, and if you had a wife or a girlfriend, would you tell them?
Okay, so for one,
now remember, we talked about high value men, and they have options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. So we go put it on the burner right there. So check it. So far as being rich, I wouldn't have a side chick because for one, a side chick is they're necessarily just looking for an easy come up in my eyes. Two, they don't have a vision. And three, they're not in control of their emotions at that point. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really coexist with someone like that. Now, as far as a wife, it's someone that you actually spent years and time with. You know what I'm saying? Your goals might match hers, her goals might match yours, but at the end of the day, she's supportive, right? So that's more something you can coexist with because you can also teach and learn from each other and cover each other's weakness because that's where that quote comes behind every strong man is a strong woman, right?
There you go.
So you wouldn't want a weak woman behind you with no goals or no support that can't even control her emotion because therefore that's what envy, jealousy, and anger comes out. And then that woman could just destroy your whole foundation. Now you left with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would go towards a wife, if that's a rich man.
Yeah. If I was a rich man, I probably wouldn't have no side chick, but it all depends. It all depends on my wife. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Like if she start doing the shit that you were saying, you know what I'm saying? Not being non-supportive, being argumentative, not being submissive, you know what I'm saying? And not submissive to where, I have to answer that later, but not being dismissive to, you know what I'm saying? Not being, being dismissive, you know what I'm saying? So I would keep, I would keep my wife, you know what I'm saying? But I would keep my options open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just let it run. You always got to have a plan B.
All right. So did you want to give any shout outs before we go?
First of all, I want to give a shout out to you, Big Dog, because none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for you.
Thank you.
And God himself.
Thank you.
Antonio, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he has some side, something I got in the way, but I want to give a shout out to him. Who else? Can't really say. I would give a shout out. I would give a shout out to my parents, I guess, for making me. You know what I'm saying? Without them, I wouldn't be on this planet. Without God, that would be possible.
Okay.
Basically, I want to give the shout out to all the, the young generation. I want to tell, just keep your head straight, keep forward, keep motivation. The sky is the limit. Anything is possible. Don't ever let no one tell you that you can't do it and strive for greatness. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. And I want to give a shout out to my family, to my daughter, and to my Care Bear, Selena. And that's going to end this show.
Clap it up.
All right. Thank you, man.
Clap it up.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.